The Wii absolutely blew my mind. It was a year or two before release, but I'd still try to go online on various blogs and forums to try and check on what new thing the Wii could do. As a kid, I couldn't get past the initial concept. There were buttons, but you could also wave it, and things would happen. Like magic. It was as a kid, I believed it was magic. Welcome to my world. How would this change games? How would this change everything? I didn't know how it would back then, but I pooped my pants anyway. And then I saw it. The Wii was already hyping me up like all hell, but I think the world heard my screams the first time I saw Super Mario Galaxy. And through that next year, I just went on a mission to find out as much as I could about this game. Looking at websites like IGN, Wii Folder, Go Nintendo, game trailers, just fumbling through every page, every article, every special feature, every video feature. I just... Oh, man. There's a reason that this project took so long to finish. I've been working on this video for a while. 2 years, as a matter of fact. And it's gone through different styles, different scripts, different levels of quality, all because I just want to give this my all. I adore this game, that's no secret. But I just want to share my story, if that's okay. I always end up missing the day I wanted to upload this. November 12th. November 12th, 2007 is the day that Super Mario Galaxy was released in the United States. One last side note, I had it reserved at a Target weeks before, maybe even months before, and I was so excited to get it that on November 11th, a day before, I remember begging my mom to drive me to Target just so I could try to get it early. And somehow, the young lady at the electronics section let me. Commemorative pre-order coin and all. Looking back on it now, I really hope she wasn't reprimanded for doing that. I still don't know why she did it. Maybe it was my cute 11-year-old face, I don't know. I care now, but I sure as hell didn't care back then. I half-jokingly told my mom to floor it home. Went home, hurried, and did all my chores so my parents had absolutely no reason to disturb me, brushed my teeth, slammed the game in the Wii, sat down, locked the door, turned the volume up, and just left my state of being as soon as I hit the icon in the Wii menu. The speakers burst those magical words, Super Mario Galaxy! And I never ever looked back. The game begins with a storybook presentation, telling us not of Mario's past victories or some new plan from Bowser, but instead a brand new story. The Star Festival. Every 100 years, a bright blue comet passes by the Mushroom Kingdom and somehow lets it rain little crystal-like artifacts called starbits. The residents of the Mushroom Kingdom all come out and enjoy the festivities, and this, and only this, is where our story begins. every motion, every emotion. I felt it all. And that was the first time I cried when I played a video game. Then a friend shows up. I had already mastered the spherical platforming at this state, mostly because I was the dork who practiced pretended playing this game. The spherical platforms were so different from what the world had seen before. You really felt like you could run anywhere and run forever. Heck, that's what I did. Ran across the world forever. No restrictions, no rules. Sure, I could run and chase the bunnies like they told me, but I better get accustomed to this new world. Just in case. Maybe around 5 or 6 million more laps, please. But no, I had to press on. Get over here, you cute little thing. And so the gateway opens up, and at its top is a brand new character, Princess Rosalina, who tells me that she watches over space or whatever. Who cares? All I'm thinking is, you're not Peach. You're boring. And you look emo. Go away. And bam! First launch star. Instinct tells me one thing. Get on that thing. To the stars! And before I knew it, I destroyed every Goomba that stood in my way. I got the key, transformed the Lumas, and I got the Grand Star, a new collectible. You see, in the past Mario adventures, you just got stars to open doors, or star-like shine sprites to bring back the sunlight to explore newer areas. But in Galaxy, the same progression is present, +1. The stars power Rosalina's home, also home to all the Lumas. The first Grand Star we get is enough to power one area up, the Terrace. The Grand Stars are not only important in-game, allowing for further travel through each different area, for the player, at this rate is, I'll say, I don't know, maybe a little 11, 12-year-old kid, there's signs that say, hey, you're doing great. You got over that obstacle. Keep going. Thank you. Because of this positive reinforcement, I felt as if my actions were important. Not just as victories for a game, not just filling up a collectible, but I felt as if every star I collected wasn't just helping me save Peach and defeat Bowser. It was also bringing light to the world. It was scratching Princess Rosalina's back as she scratched mine. I'm reading way too into this, it may seem, but honestly, that's what I feel when I play this game. Let's continue, shall we? The Good Egg Galaxy is where most people hold fond memories. It's the first real level we explore on our own. The first time we discover hidden paths, music notes, a boss. So much is stuffed into this first level, but the best part is that we all knew there was so much more to discover in gameplay. But what stayed the same throughout every level was the perfect controls. A year passed between the Wii's release and Galaxy, and most people got past the hype. The motion controls were all gimmicks. The Wii remote acted as an extra button at times, with no real novelty put into each control scheme. But this concept isn't always a bad thing, as Galaxy shows. A simple shake of the Wii remote or nunchuck attachment has Mario execute a fast but very useful spin attack. This is all it does, unless another context-sensitive occurrence arises, and when they do, the game is sure to simply let you know of it. Think of it like this. If the spin was mapped to a button, would the game be the same? Many claim that the entire concept of shaking the Wii remote to spin was a gimmick in and of itself. To that, I say, have you played this game? The moment you shake the Wii remote, Mario spins. No lag, no delay. It is as quick and concise as a button press. Full motion can never replace button presses, sure, but when you take the simplest concepts and implement those with motion control, somehow it becomes fun. Think about the first time you punched a Goomba in Super Mario 64. Okay, he punched it. Welp. Think about the first time you waterboarded a goopy piranha in Sunshine. Hell, think about the first time you ever stomped a Goomba. Now compare all of that to this. The physicality is just what helps me adore this game. Even though a simple shake would suffice, a player like me would wave the Wii Remote across his or her body and feel satisfaction that other games never really offered at the time with their motion controls. Something as simple as a spin attack can blur the line between the player and the game. It's that little rush you get. And if you don't like spinning, sure, you can jump on enemies too. In fact, it's encouraged. The game never tells you, hey, only do one or the other. Super Mario Galaxy is designed so well in this regard. It's super satisfying to spin into an enemy and collect star bits with your pointer, but it's also much easier. Jumping on enemies, let alone on a spherical planet, is a bit more difficult, which, when you do perform it and you are successful, it deserves greater reward. A coin. A collectible that restores health. So as a kid, I always had that dramatic choice when I had 2 life points left to risk getting hurt by an enemy and jumping on it to restore my life, or to easily get rid of him by spinning into him. Of course, you could take this to higher notes and spin after jumping to delay your descent and try to aim your feet, and advanced players knew that adding the ground pound to the mix would yield excellent results. That spin jump move in particular has saved my life more than I'd like to admit. So now, Mario, and the player, may add the spin attack to his arsenal of acrobatic moves, joining the ranks of the long jump, the ground pound, the crouch walk, and many more. This was, and in my opinion, still is the most acrobatic Mario has ever been in his games, and each maneuver is handled so well with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Now more than ever, the controls are so fluid that players are able to gauge distances. In 64 or Sunshine, you were never sure whether or not you would make a specific jump, but with Super Mario Galaxy, damn it, you'd at least try, and if not, try again. It's weird because Galaxy is the first 3D Mario game to not give the player full camera control. Then again, the camera always knows where to point, so the player knows exactly how to distance Mario from his destinations. That spin attack really does change everything with the platforming. And it's come to my attention that if the Wii was not to have motion controls, the game would have been designed so that the spin attack would be performed by quickly rotating the analog stick. Remember, this isn't a spin jump like we were used to with Sunshine. This is Galaxy's quick and concise spin attack. Would everything that made the game so fun to play be as fun without Wii's unique controller? On top of that, would the whole game be different had motion controls not been confirmed? All the ray surfing, bubble blowing, gizmo rolling, Bowser beating? How different would all of that be without the nunchuck and the Wii Remote? So, as you beat bad guy after bad guy and collect star after star, Rosalina thanks you, blah blah blah, your help is important to us, whatever. Look, no matter how lovely your dress is, or how your visible eye is a lovely sea I could get shipwrecked and lost in forever, or how your voice could honestly lull me to sleep as a mother her child, or as a wife her husband, you're not Peach. Peach is the only one for Mario, and no other leading lady should ever be in a Mario game ever. You know how this goes. Eventually, one of the grand stars you collect will open the library. Every now and then, Princess Rosalina tells a story to all the Lumas gathered around her, and Mario by extension, as he happens to walk in every time. She goes chapter by chapter, and though I'm not sure how each chapter is unlocked when, by the time you collect all 120 stars, the full story should be unlocked. And as a child to a mother, I sat in curious silence, eyes widening at the screen, as the story tells of a little girl who encounters a Luma, looking for his mother. As the story goes on, we learn that star bits are edible, the little girl misses her mother too, and that the little girl is strikingly similar to Princess Rosalina. Honestly, I didn't realize this until the duo started building the kitchen on a seemingly unimportant planet. The story was optional, yes, you could go through the entire game without hearing a peep about Princess Rosalina's origins, but then again, the curiosity is always going to be too much for a first-time player, let alone an 11-year-old. So I pushed through stars and baddies galore in hopes that after every level I heard that wonderful jingle that signals go to the library. The story is so heartfelt and charming that although optional, it drags you in and keeps you playing, not taking time from precious gameplay. This wasn't mere exposition. This was a damn good reward. Now, I debated on whether or not I should include the famous ending to the storybook in this video, Should I add it to my whole thesis and spoil the ending to all who haven't read it, or rather experienced it for themselves? Or should I keep it a surprise for those people? Well, after much thought, I'm going to explain the ending, but I'm not going to show the text in each page, for the writing itself is so extraordinary. In a game like this, it should be definitely read by itself. The entire theme in Rosalina's storybook is motherhood. The Luma's looking for her mother, and the girl misses her own mother. During one pivotal scene where the Luma and the girl start to cry for each of their losses late in the night, the girl assures that the Luma is safe in her arms and holds the Luma close. And somehow, later, more and more Lumas start to pop up and inhabit the planet, all calling the girl their mama. As her family of Lumas grows, the girl begins to miss home and reveals that she knew that her own mother is not out in the starry skies, but rather, she's already passed away and rests below the tree near her old home. The first Luma cuddles up to the girl as she continues sobbing and begins to think of a plan out of nowhere. The Luma offers to turn into a bright comet so she and the other Lumas may travel along the universe. And this brings up two realizations. Number one, the Lumas are infantile beings, truly growing to become cosmic articles someday. We've seen Lumas turn into things as small as sling stars and things as large as planets. But the second realization, if the story Rosalina has told all this time is her own, is that the entire time, your gateways to the starry skies were all once Lumas that Rosalina took into her home. And after the girl in the story realizes this, she decides to take this as her new life. To live as a cosmic being herself, raising these Lumas, giving them a home until they find a suitable rebirth. This whole time we've been told the story of the girl's own transformation, from child to mother. And that was the second time I ever cried when I played a video game. So, only one question remains, directed at Bowser. Why? Why take over the Mushroom Kingdom? Why for over 20 years have you kidnapped Princess Peach time and time and time and time again? Why siphon this poor lady's power stars and use them to power your own deeds? You wish to create your own galaxy? There are millions of galaxies out in space and you couldn't take over them? You wanted them in your own image. You wanted to rule the world. You have done nothing but be a thorn in my and millions of other players' sides, no matter how many bombs we throw you into or how many times we make you fall. I'm coming after you, and so are millions of players around the world. Physical, mental, emotional, the counted ways of how Super Mario Galaxy excels. I haven't touched on other parts of gameplay or the visuals or the music because whatever I say about them will dull the experience. The only way you will be able to get the full feeling of everything at once is to play through the game yourself. You need to take your first steps. You need to collect the stars. You need to meet the characters. Mario wasn't just an avatar you control. No, for the first time, you truly put on the hat. You take the leaps of faith, you spin every enemy into the depths of space, you bested the bosses and hit each of their Achilles' heels. What? You say Mario did all that? No, you did. You hit each and every enemy out of the way. You progressed through the various dangers and collected the stars and grand stars, and Rosalina, the Lumas, Peach, as well as the entire universe thanks you, verbally or otherwise. Rosalina is at your side the entire time, and now you know why she's helping you. Not for her, not for you, but for the fate of the entire universe. It was, is, or will be in your hands now. And after all of that, two forces stand on opposite sides. You and Bowser. It's time to end this. This is how I felt 8 years ago. All the energy, all the pain, all the fun. The greatest video game in the world needs you to feel that rush of excitement with moments that get you off of your seat. The greatest video game in the world needs you to feel great and all blushy when moments come up when you accomplish your goal. The greatest video game in the world needs you to feel as if your heart was ripped in 9 pieces in one moment and as if it's in one whole piece minutes later. The greatest video game in the world for me is Super Mario Galaxy. I could go on. I could go on and on and on, but I can't. 'Cause I'll cry. A lot. This game means so much to me. It's impossible for me to put it into words. Someone else may be able to, but I can't. Maybe someday I can, but for today I'll leave it at this. Super Mario Galaxy is otherworldly. I am sure you will never experience anything like this game ever again. The amount of love and care put into this one game makes it the flagship game of the 7th generation of video game consoles. To me, any video game console generation. You know me. I know there are flaws. But I stubbornly choose not to dwell on them for too long. Welcome to my world.